know what? I that story doesn't really move me, be honest with you. I mean, I say that. I'm saying, like, okay, the guy jumped the fence. Whoop-de-doo.
What if he got in and started killing people?
He didn't.
Well, he did get in.
He got in, but he didn't get far enough. But I think the other story that you brought to my attention is
so you want me to start the other story? Let me ask you this. You know what? And this article goes back to a lot of discussions we've had. Mm-hmm. And we'll continue to have. One we were talking about yesterday, actually. Mm-hmm. And there's some other things about people being uninformed voters. But let me read this article to you. This is also in the New York Times today.
No, before we go, though.
Yes?
We got... It's approximately 8:29.
So that means it's time check, it's commercial, it's
right. You know, we gotta pay bills too. You know.
Okay, pay those bills, honey.
You know, because we gotta pay bills.
I need. Some
As a matter of fact, listen to this, and I'm telling you, there's a guy called Lee Navlin. He lives in South Orange. I think he lives in South Orange. He has this comedy show. And he's going to have in this comedy show at Bunny's. And I told him, I said, you know, because I'm on his Facebook page. I said, why don't you think about having Soma broadcast that comedy show that you're going to be having? You know? And he says he's going to look into it. I send him all the you know, the information, you know, the broadcasting and everything.
And what day is the comedy show?
I think it's a Thursday, October, sometime in October. But
this isn't the same day as this football game we're going to.
Oh, let me see something. Let me see if I get it.
But that's not a commercial. Yeah, do the
time check. The time is approximately 8:30 p.m. That time check is brought to you by Semper Alexander Computer Consultants, where they implement cost-effective solutions to fulfill your business needs. Semper Alexander for all your computer needs. You can call them at 973-763-2011. That's 973-763-2011. We'll be right back after this short break.
Want to take a cruise but don't have a U.S. visa? No problem. Cruise and Rail Travel are experts at cruises that do not require a U.S. visa. Visit www.cruiseandrail.net or call 868-631-8785. Find us on Facebook or drop us a tweet.
Having problems with your house? Is your mortgage upside down? Can't get a loan modification or short sale? Tenant troubles, job loss or transfer? Does your house need repairs, or maybe you're facing foreclosure? Time is not on your side. Call now and speak to one of our friendly associates. No matter the reason you have to sell, we have solutions. Operators are standing by to take your call. 800-709-1732 or visit www.7sellahome.com.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? Then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to SoMore.org to let us know your opinion. Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you.
We are back with you. It's Individuals with Anselm and Marjorie on the South Orange Maplewood online radio experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Now, Marjorie, that White House story.
Yes.
Didn't really, I mean, it was a good story, but it
didn't jolt you or something.
Yeah,
It's rough.
It didn't really, have an impact, man.
Okay, well, it's a fact. I
No,
mean,
no,
it's
I
news,
hear you.
everything,
I mean,
it's not as impactful as the man on Yale Street,
That's right.
with the red belt.
The man that was the flasher. We got flashers now in South Orange and Maplewood. My man is flashing.
Well,
What about that other story?
This other story is an investigative story. I feel like I should have my students read this tomorrow.
That's that. You think before you even read the story, that's the reflection in South Orange and Maplewood. You think the story has anything to do
with this article?
Yeah, this article. Yeah.
No, I think. I mean that this is a national issue.
Okay.
Well, you tell me, and feel free to chime in. I'm sure you will. Are you looking at this article at the same time?
Yeah, I'm looking at the article.
Okay, because I'm going to skip some of it. It's hard to skip the beginning of it because it sets the scene. But, let me just read it.
Well, give us the title of the article.
Mostly black cities, mostly white city halls.
While you do that, I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna post it on Facebook.
Okay,
on
sounds like a
page.
plan.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Since moving to this small city on the eastern flank of Atlanta's suburban sprawl, Lorna Francis, a hairdresser and single mother, has found a handsome brick house to rent on a well-groomed cul-de-sac. She has found a good public school for her teenage daughter. Something Miss Francis, who is black, has not found is time to register and vote. She was unaware that the most recent mayoral election was held last November. Mm-hmm. Here she speaks. Sorry. Life has been busy, and I've been trying to make that money, Miss Francis said one morning this month from her two-car garage.
No, stop a minute. Does not...
Well, let me just go. You have plenty of opportunities to stop me.
Doesn't that sound like South Orange and some people in South Orange and Maplewood?
Oh, you're going to hear more South Orange and Maplewood.
Seriously. I mean, go ahead.
I'm trying to make that money.
I'm trying to make that money, man. I'm trying to make that money, honey.
Miss Francis said one morning this month from her two-car garage where she was micromanaging a particularly complex hairdo for a regular climate. And honestly, I only vote in major elections.
So she don't vote township elections. She just vote major elections.
That kind of disregard is one of the many reasons that only one of the 6 elected positions in this municipality of 15,000 is held by an African American. And even as a wave of new black residents is radiated out from nearby Atlanta, creating a black majority here for the first time in the city's 160-year history.
No, stop right there.
Oh, my God. This article is long. Go ahead.
I know, but I like to find out. It says it has radiated, right?
Right.
Creating a black majority for the first time in the city's 160-year history. I would like to find out the property values in that community. Maybe they're going to tell us in the article.
No.
How has the property values been maintained?
No, I don't think. For some reason, that this whole property value thing in Atlanta, and then color.
You don't think it affects Atlanta?
I've spent way too much time.
But all right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Disparities between the percentage of black residents and the number of black elected officials are facts of life in scores of American cities, particularly in the South. The unrest that followed the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, has emphasized how much local elections can matter and prompted a push for push there for increased black voter participation. The disparities result from many factors: voter apathy, especially in low visibility local elections, the civic disconnect of a transient population, the low financial rewards and long hours demanded of local office holders, and voting systems, including odd-year elections that are often structured in a way that discourages broad interest in local races. But Ferguson has become a vivid example of the way history and political disengagement and underrepresentation can finally turn toxic. I have seen this time and time again in my research, Jessica L. Traunstein, a political scientist at the University of California, Merced said in an email. The event situation seems sudden, but really the stage was set long before. Whites and blacks tend to agree that the situation is less volatile in Conyers, near Atlanta, though many blacks cite frustrations over interactions with the police. But even here, differences in voting between city and the country that surround it speak vividly to the same broader issue. The chief operating officer of Conyers, David Spann, a veteran city employee who is white, said that many of the city's minority newcomers have, like Miss Francis, found homes in a local rental market that has exploded in part because of the foreclosure crisis. The city's home ownership rate is 38% compared to 66% rate for Georgia as a whole. When you have rental people, this is nothing against them, but they're not as involved in the community, Mr. Spann said. The lack of local representation on city councils can have a deep consequence. City councils are one of the easiest ways for community members to enter politics. The nation's municipalities spend more than $1 trillion a year, and city councils have much to say in how that money is spent. And Ferguson, where blacks said that they were victims of a system that issued more arrest warrants per capita than any other city in Missouri, is a prime example of how local governments can have huge impacts on people's lives. That's exactly what I was talking about. According to the International City Council County Council Management Association, among 340 American cities where there are more than 20% of the population is black, 2 had councils on which blacks were overrepresented compared with their population. 209 were within 1 seat of their population, and 129 underrepresented blacks by more than 1 seat. In Conyers, not everybody considers the underrepresentation to be a problem. Cleveland Stroud, a sole black member of the city council, argues that whites have remained in power in part because they have represented their changing constituency well. Does a council person have to be black in order to represent black voters? Mr. Stroud asks. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you that. Do you have to be black in order to represent black voters?
No, you don't have to.
A number of blacks here said that they were generally pleased with city government. The only thing I can tell you is in Conyers has been great to me, she said. Eleanor Johnson, a 61-year-old. Mm-hmm. White leaders here do not claim that the city, in a region where a half-century ago blacks had to drink from separate water fountains, has solved all of its racial problems. But they said that they are in fact an integrated community, particularly after a decade in which the black share of the city population shot from 33% to 57%. Mm-hmm. During the same time, whites dropped from 58% to 30%. Still, a number of black residents here suspect that the city police tend to single them out because of their race. Mm-hmm. DeMarco Ham, 30 years old, a transportation supervisor at the county school district who typically drives to work in the pre-dawn darkness, twice in the past year has been stopped by white Conyers police officers for what struck him as frivolous reasons. But Mr. Ham, a lifelong resident of Conyers, said he had not felt compelled to seek remedy at the ballot box. He said that city elections, which are held in odd years separate from federal contests, are difficult to keep track of. It's not broadcast, he said. It's not like a presidential election. Voter turnout here tends to be low, and the competitive black candidates have been scarce.
So,
keep going. The last citywide election in November attracted only 815 voters. Local election officials do not quantify how many of those voters were minorities, but many here believe that blacks were probably more likely to stay home than whites.